up for that. I know I share your excitement here, Mirko. There's Eudora.
Right, I mean, we talk about reacting, we talk about crowd control. Well, Eudora provides that, and in that mid lane, we talked about how important the control, the threat can be in allowing rotation. So with a Eudora that can just one-shot squishy heroes later on in the mid-game, Team Hawk has a chance to just take control over the game outright.
Man, one thing I love about Eudora is just the amount of burst potential, right? You also have a great stun option, a CC, which still is paired up really well with the Cho, like we were saying, you know, have that option available to you. And just take them to the Thunderdome if you want to, right? It's something that can really work out here. But S11 as well, across the board, they've got that prio glue pick that we've seen either work or it doesn't, and still, I mean, they have a lot of options to work around with, but I think it ultimately is going to start also in the jungle. But the band is going, and ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the third match here. Can S11 do it again versus Team Hawk?
Man, that Eudora pick. Oh, I love it here, man. The Eudora is going to have so much value, right? You want to lock down Chan, you want to lock down Kai, and especially Jotun, who's now going to really struggle when he jumps in. He might have to go for like a magical defense item early, but I have to take a look at his... Oh, he went for the mystery shot. That's not going to be a tank Karina. It's a full damage Karina. At least it should be.
It's an assassin Karina attempting to burst down the squishier members like Panda, like Gary, but of course before he can even get there, Lola needs to be dealt with first, and this EXP lane matchup, whoever comes out on top will determine the dynamic of the rotations, right? Because at any point, if during the course of a fight, a Yuzong shows up with the full combo, with a Petrify, that is just dangerous, and Glue can also wreak havoc, so that is a huge factor in deciding who has the upper hand. For now. Yeah,
I think right now, you know, Team Hawk gives the Lith Wanderer away. They don't want to really chance it because early on, without, you know, the Way of the Dragon, without the ultimate even from Man here, it's tough, right? Flicker in, though.
Yeah, unfortunately, when you are concealed on Leslie, that second ability, the stun from Man, won't come out. So he actually kind of miscalculated. He should have used the first ability to just reveal him first. Was out of range by the time he realized. So, again, a bit of a misplay. That's a flicker burn, but chance to be taken low, taken down even here.
What a rotation.
Can use the Purify, but hey, that's the damage, just melting him down.
You can't purify damage, my guy. That is the best crowd control, right? Death.
You can.
That is the best crowd control. So, it seems like Team Hawk, despite the reputation for being more adaptive, they have taken matters into their own hands, but S11 still has control in that turtle pit.
Slick movement by Kai, man.
I mean, at this point, that little early first blood from Team Hawk should set themselves up for a decent turtle take here. As S11 is going to start it up, though.
Black Dragon formed by Lola, zoning Jotun away. Has the Petrify, is going to be stunned up here as Jotun jumps into the back line onto Min right now. And that's going to be the damage coming in. The burst was able to take Jotun down. Min's going to be taken low. Has the flicker to get out as Man is jumping in. Gary finds retribution as he pops the top of the blaze. Man picking up a double kill as Gary just slides across the place, picking up his sword and getting out.
That looks so messy, but the crowd control yet again prevails. Min was caught out of position. He has the Way of the Dragon, but he wasn't sure when and where to use it, so he was moving around. But because there's so many other tools available, because Lola was able to just push everyone away and wrestle control from S11 in the beginning, he was still able to get a very impactful presence in that fight. Team Hawk right now, they have the tools available. Can they push the tempo hard enough, though? That is the main question. Because S11, they are still having a lot of crowd control, especially later on in the mid-game with all the AoE.
Well, you're asking if they can press the situation even further here. Again, Man on this Eudora pick, having those 2 kills, the last worship as well. The burst damage is already there, and it's going to be there even, like, harder at this early point in the game. Now, you can see already the focus, too. S11 knows they got to focus on Panda. This is the key to victory here. So if they can pick up a kill here, kind of put pressure on gold lane constantly, that is one of the best case scenarios for them. Again, they want to allow Kai to do what he did in the first match, where he just unleashes mid to late game.
Oh my god, Erwin got the stun on the wrong target. He hit the minion, and now it's the collapse over to punish them. Erwin mistapped on the minion, and it's going to be Man who picks up a killing spree too, bursting Jotun down.
What a disaster for S11. It looked so good. They were almost They were about to domesticate the Panda, but it did not work out. The backup comes in, the knockups comes in. That is the power of crowd control. And we talked about that burst coming in from Man. This Eudora is deadly right now. And not to mention, if you focus too much onto Panda, Gary can still be a big factor, but whoa!
Everyone's gonna get kicked back. He wanted to go for something here, has him on blast, but doesn't have the flicker. And it's gonna be Erwin who gets taken down. Gary picks up the kill. And it's another kill over to the Malaysian champions who are now in full control.
Full control, 3.4K, 5K gold lead here. This turtle should be theirs as well. And, you know, questionably, Erwin, I mean, he was trying to just maybe buy time for that turret, but better to let it go because now this is one objective after the other going to the hands of Team Hawk here. S11's going to have their work cut out for them early on through this game into the mid game. And still, what is the answer here for Man? Man having a massive game already. This is like what Chan had in their match in match 1, right? So this is a flippy-floppy situation, but also somewhat expected from Team Hawk. They're going to put pressure where they know they need to be. Min, though,
It's gonna be stunned up, that's about it, right? There's no real threat right now from S11 in terms of damage. Chan still needs to scale. Kai as well, but who doesn't need to scale? It's Man on the Eudora. That's an early game mage for a reason. Erwin just got melted.
That is a terrifying amount of damage onto the roamer. If your roamer can be one-shot like that, that allows Team Hawk to just deny any kind of inquisitive maneuvers coming in from Erwin. He cannot find vision, and with that control, with those threats, they're able to get the turret, but Man here is the main target for S11.
There you go, everything used, and still it's Mon surviving, but Chan jumps in with his Mon Force, picking up a shutdown and putting some gold in his pockets, collecting it. Whoa, Lola still with the Black Dragon form, now gonna be out of there, gonna be immobilized down, but he's still able to get out with a Furious Dive. Meanwhile, in the back line is gonna be actually Jotun, who gets kicked back to the team, has the maneuverability to get out for a bit before Panda finds the kill. Gary now still trying to look for more damage, but it's S11 who decides to back off, and it's an equal trade in the end.
that could have been way worse, right? I mean, for either team there was a lot going on, but still, it was pretty much an even trade so far, and that's the thing. The thing about Team Hawk is the pressure from having a Eudora, the pressure from having a Cho is showing for S11. S11 has to work around this, right? But again, time could be in their favor if they can get to the point where mid-late game, they've got some farm. Kai hasn't died yet. This is very reminiscent, like I said, to previous game where we were kind of counting out Kai, but then he flipped the tables for S11 in the previous matchup. So this could still happen for them.
True.
And Chan as well. Chan, he needs to continue to build up. You saw the Zaman Force. If Team Hawk gets out of place, Zaman Force works so well to find the kills that you need with this Harith or even set up the rest of the team here. But already another turtle being worked on Team Hawk. They should be able to just secure this with a breeze.
S11 going for a trade, it seems, but with only 2 members down here, it's still very vulnerable, and Team Hawk might just make a play here. No, they go for the turret, and that's about it. They're playing it patient and disciplined, keeping it clean, because later on, they can still have so many more options, man. They can use Gary to split push as well. We've seen that happen, and now here is the squad, right? Looking for a play, but Lola might be the one starting it off.
Uh-oh, there you go. Yeah, Lola just dishing out a bit of damage to act as poke. But with this, the way they're trading on the map, right, S11 sure are buying a bit more time. Erwin jumps in onto Lola. They're trying to actually collapse onto him with his Mon Force too. Lola's taking very little bit away. The Dragon connects onto Jotun. His Chan still able to actually get out. Look at him now. Blast connecting onto 2 members. Mon still able to flicker out. Papadao gonna be knocked up. Chan still gonna be able to survive, but it's scary. Slicing and dicing with the help of Panda to get the damage done and to take Erwin and Chan down. Team Hawk now looking to capitalize as they are going to be able to take the mid lane tier 1.
The snipe won't be enough, and that is what discipline gets you. S11, they saw Lola, they figured, let's go for that pickoff because they are in such desperate situations. But of course, they are able to secure the kill, but at what cost? Team Hawk has so many more dangerous members available, and look at the items right here. Panda, already with the Corrosion Sight and the Golden Staff. That is a lot of attack speed and a lot of utility that can be brought into the team. And Gary on this lane with the Berserker's Fury and the Windtalker. That's a lot of hits and by default, a lot of crits as well. So they can't really let these members go around without getting crowd control, without threatening them with everything.
Yeah, again, you know, with Kai not dying yet, that's a great situation to be in. But what we're seeing from Team Hawk is that backline dive is so strong. You have Gary, you have Lola to do that. And man, if he decides to flicker in and just throw out that full combination for Eudora, then Kai could be easily taken out here. So still, S11 buying time. They might be better off just giving up this first Lord, because if they actually contest it or try to fight it, they're most likely going to lose the fight here. So Team Hawk starts up the first Lord of the game.
That's a very great point, because if there's a big messy fight, Man can output the bulk of his role in the fight instantly. Whereas for the other side, if Chan wants to mimic the same kind of success, he needs to stay alive, he needs to take a lot more risks. So Man has the quote-unquote easier hero, but that also means that as long as he's tactical and smart about his decisions in those big fights, who he targets, it's just a more clear-cut solution.
S11 are still waiting for that power spike to hit, right?
Yeah.
They are banking on Chan and Kai. These two members are the two members that need the items to actually carry the game right now. Jotun, I think right now he just needs to act as an assassin, right? He comes in late, but if Team Hawk keep on just suffocating them this way, S11 have no way to actually get goal. Like, look at this, the orange buff is actually stolen away by Lola.
Oh, they're going in.
What is going on here?
Mid lane.
And even in top lane, it's 2 kills on the board. Chan's jumping back and forth, but he doesn't find a trade. It's still Team Hawk who just wins it out 2-0.
Okay, we missed that for a second there, but 2 did go down for S11. And Lord now on the bottom side, they're going to have to be careful here how they approach this Black Dragon form.
Papa Dog, nowhere to go here. Pops the split, trying to buy some time, but the damage comes through to really just melt him down. Chan, now with his on-4s, actually jumping onto the Furious Dive. Luckily, he did not get knocked up. He is going to be able to clear the Lord out. 10 minutes in, base turret down in the bottom lane.
Team Hawk, I think they could have pressured a bit more there, but as we mentioned, keeping it clean, keeping it disciplined, knowing that they have the lead, but they also have a lot more early game options, so there's no point in taking unnecessary risks and letting S11 perhaps have an opportunity for a comeback. Look at the players' gold right here, Gary and Panda all the way up there, and despite the fact that Kai has been left relatively untouched, he is still not as wealthy as Jotun, which is not ideal, right? At this point, the Karina is not the main carry that you can rely on to actually decide the fate of the game.
The items, right? That's what I really want to see for Kai right now. Does he have at least just the...
I think he's got 2. I think he's got Berserker's Fury and maybe Endless Battle. Not sure if he was building towards that yet, but I mean, you saw the damage dealt. He's the highest there, but you saw how the discrepancy between the gold from him and even someone like Panda, right? I think it was around 2,000 gold difference. And so maybe in another 3-4 minutes, we'll see Kai pop off. Now we can take a look at the items. There it is. It is going to be that Berserker's Fury with the Endless Battle here, working on the next. So if he's going, is he going BOD here, Arashi? For the third?
I think BOD makes sense, especially with how you want to be playing, right? Just burst damage, assassinations, quote-unquote. But Team Hawk right now is just zoning everyone. I mean, Kai has the steel leg plates, but it's so dangerous for him to be roaming around right here because Gary and Lola can very easily take him out. The steel leg plates alone will not be enough to secure, I don't know, his life in the big fights. And look at how Team Hawk is positioning, right? They're just looking for opportunities, moments where perhaps S11 will overextend just a bit, and they have the tools to just punish that. But now that the Lord is up, it's a completely different story.
I think you still just give this Lord away. You defend in your base.
Yeah.
You know, it's your 8K behind here in gold, and you don't have much movement around the map. No much space to move around in. So this is the thing, though. Even if you turtle up here for S11 and you try to protect Kai the best you can, Man is still the issue, right? He could flicker in at any point and just lock down Kai. There's the Divine Glaive. That's even more big damn at this point. It's tough. It's tough here for S11, but they're going to have to defend against this Lord as soon as it spawns, and the Onslaught Siege from Team Hawk at 9K ahead from S11.
Now the question is, can they defend, right? With the amount of damage output and pick potential and even siege from Team Hawk, are S11 Gaming going to be able to withstand this? Arashi?
It's going to be very tough, man. I mean, if their core members don't get caught up in the initial assault, I think there's a chance, right? You can see the damage is starting to come through, but of course, with so much crowd control available, Team Hawk can just even zone and not even commit to a fight, and that will allow them to take down multiple structures or even end the game with good lane manipulation.
No conceal already. It's popped in by Min. That's going to be a resource valuable towards S11 as Papa Dog tries his best to zone the other members away. Erwin with an not blast, but it's going to be Min who kicks him away. Still, Base turret is up. Gary jumps in with the time of the blade. Chance to be caught. He's going to be taken down. Unstoppable picked up by Panda already. That's the mid laner gone. One of the high ground defense members is no longer alive for S11. Man flickering forward, trying to get Kai right now. Is Kai still able to actually get out? Lola getting out of harm's way right now. Man's going to be able to dish out the damage, but he's going to be taken down in the end by Kai. He's still in the back line, dealing a lot, dealing that true damage. As that's going to be Min caught. Double kill over to Kai, who's still trying to dish out the damage. And now you can see that he is starting to hurt. He is going to be able to dish out more as he's hunting for Panda. Panda picks up a godlike, flickers out, and Team Hawk have taken all 3 base turrets.
They've taken all 3 base turrets, but they gave several kills in the process. Of course, it's not a defeat. They have so much macro pressure right now, but S11, they need that influx of gold, and it comes in into the right hands kind of, so they have a chance right here. But of course, with 10k gold difference, it's going to be very difficult for them to get a victory in the big team fight unless something crazy happens, a pickoff, unless they do something crazy that Team Hawk can just not see coming.
I mean, even looking at the player head-to-head here, we already know Kai is going to be the saving grace here for S11 if they can turn this around. He picked up the BOD about 4 minutes ago. I was like, you know, they need to buy 4 minutes. They've done that, right? They did have a successful defense in their base. That's step number 1 here. If they want to go ahead and either find a pickoff of their own before that next Lord comes up, that's probably what they're going to try to do, get in position here. That will be crucial for S11 to turn this game around. They've just got to be careful because the base is fully exposed. They've got no inhibitor turrets left. That's why you have Papa Dog parking up here on the top side. Knows that Gary will be splitting around the map here, but in just a couple seconds, Lord now going to be up, and they've got to be careful on how they approach it.
That fight that S11 technically won was without Chan. Mindo looking for that position, goes on to Erwin. That's going to be Lola jumping in. Chance to be able to pop that Zaman Force. Topped up, and that's the unstoppable by Gary. Jotun tries to look for a kill, but will fall instead. Gary's going to be taken low, but the damage coming from Kai's. That's the Erwin melted down by Panda. Still Kai in the back, but will be petrified, knocked up, and taken down by Panda and Lola. It's a double kill by the Black Dragon, and now it's time for Team Hawk to march slowly up against one member from S11. Papa Dog all alone. The miracle play will not happen as Team Hawk will be able to secure their first win at M4, silencing S11.
What a performance, man. Everything just came in so well. They understood the macro decisions. They knew that S11 will be inquiring to see where they were. Are they going to be on the Lord? And they just go for the blockage. They went in behind them and completely zoned them away from their base. They did a great job defending when their backs were against the base, but the moment they ventured out, Team